The forest had always been alive with whispers. Travelers said it was cursed, that shadows moved where no wind blew, and that the trees themselves carried the memory of forgotten wars. Most who entered never returned. But Lyra was not like most. She moved barefoot across the moss, her green dress flowing behind her like part of the forest itself. By her side padded Fenrir, a wolf taller than her waist, his coat silver-gray, his eyes glowing amber even in the dim light. To Lyra, the forest was not cursed, it was calling. And that call had led her to the clearing where the air grew hotter, where the earth trembled under unseen wings. From the smoke and shadow came the first dragon. Its scales burned with the color of rusted iron, its breath reeking of ash. Another followed, smaller but faster, wings slicing the mist. They circled above, their voices rattling the branches. "Human," one rumbled, its words vibrating through the earth, "you are bold to come where kings fear to tread." Lyra stood still, her hand resting on Fenrir's back. His fur bristled, a growl deep in his chest. She did not run. She did not bow. "This forest," Lyra said, her voice calm, "does not belong to kings. Nor to you. It belongs to life itself. And I will not see it burned." The dragons laughed, a sound like cracking stone. "One girl and one wolf against us," the larger sneered. "You should kneel before your betters." Lyra smiled faintly. "The mistake of every tyrant," she said, "is thinking humans kneel forever." The dragon roared, unleashing fire that scorched the ground where she had stood. Lyra dove aside, Fenrir leaping with her, the heat chasing them. The wolf's fangs snapped as they landed, and he lunged at the smaller dragon, tearing at the membrane of its wing. Blood the color of molten gold splattered the moss. The beast screamed, twisting violently, but Fenrir would not release. The larger dragon swung its tail, shattering trees like brittle twigs. Lyra rolled beneath the blow, pulling from her side not a sword but a small dagger, etched with runes that glowed faintly blue. It was no ordinary blade, it was carved from the bones of an elder dragon long dead. She sprinted forward, faster than fear, and drove the blade into the dragon's leg. The beast howled, collapsing onto one knee. For the first time, its flame sputtered with doubt. Fenrir tore himself free from the smaller dragon and returned to her side, his chest rising with deep, savage growls. Lyra's eyes never left the larger one. "You think us weak," she said, her voice carrying across the battlefield. "You think us fragile. But humans are more than flesh. We are stubborn. We are loyal. And when the forest calls, we answer." From the shadows, the forest answered her words. Figures appeared between the trees, hunters with bows, women with spears, elders carrying torches. They had followed Lyra, believing in her courage when no one else dared. One by one, they stepped into the clearing, their faces lit by firelight. The dragons faltered. What had been prey was now a wall of defiance. The smaller dragon tried to rise, but arrows rained down, piercing the softer skin beneath its wings. The larger lashed out, but Fenrir lunged again, dragging it down, his teeth locked on its throat. Lyra climbed onto its back, her dagger glowing brighter as she drove it deep into the seam of its scales. The roar that followed shook the forest, but the dragon collapsed, trembling under the weight of resistance it had never expected. Silence fell, broken only by the crackle of fire and the slow, steady breathing of survivors. The dragons were not dead, but they were broken. With one last hiss of fury, they spread their tattered wings and retreated into the skies, vanishing beyond the mountains. Lyra stood tall on the blackened earth, Fenrir at her side, her people gathered around her. She looked at the scar the battle had left on the forest and then at the sun breaking through the smoke. "We are human," she said quietly. "We do not burn easily. And we do not bow." Fenrir pressed against her leg, his loyalty unshaken. Around them, the people of the forest raised their voices, not in fear but in triumph. The dragons would remember that day, not as a victory but as a warning. Because the girl, the wolf, and the humans of the forest had proven one truth that echoed through time. Humanity endures.